Hi, I'm John Williamson. Whoa, wait a minute. What is that hair? What is on your face? What is that microphone? And what is that poster up in the corner? Go sort those all out first and then come back. Okay. Hi, I'm John Williamson. This is my channel where I'm here to speak about finance, investing, business and entrepreneurship, and general life advice. I'm 19. You might be wondering why you would listen to a 19-year-old, especially about life advice or anything financial. But I've spent the last few years learning how to set up my finances, figuring out my life, trying to work out what I want to do, trying to learn about business, trying to learn about economics and finance, and any of these sorts of subjects that I think will help me provide a lot of value to other people. A lot of people don't tend to like having conversations on these topics, at least not one-on-one, so I figured it might be better to run a YouTube channel and then people can just watch those videos. Or we find out that I don't have anything useful to say, and then I just know to just shut my mouth and keep learning. Now, you might see me look over to my left because I do have a few notes. This is my first video. I'm going to be honest. A lot of YouTubers, I see them with the script, they try and hide it. It's so obvious a lot of the time, so I'm just going to be open with that. So, I'm 19 as already mentioned. I live in Scotland. I've just started a degree with the Open University in economics and mathematical science. Don't really add that bit on usually, but makes it sound fancy. This degree is going to mean I'm going to be sitting at home for the next 3 years, really. I mean, it's distance learning, so I'm just sitting at home, not really doing anything other than studying. So that's why I've started this YouTube channel. Even if it doesn't become successful, it can at least be something I say, well, this is a little side project I did if I'm sitting in any interview and I need something to speak about. My plan is to upload a 10-minute video every Friday, at least 10 minutes. If I have enough to speak about for those 10 minutes, then that'll be the channel successful. I don't care how many views or subscribers I get. I mean, obviously I care, but that's not the goal. I think this is an important tip for anybody who's overthinking on a project. Just figure out a different goal to have with that project. So this goal is I'm going to upload one video every week on a Friday this year for the whole of 2021. That's my goal. If it succeeds, that will be me managing to post. If I fail, that's purely down to me and my consistency and my work ethic. It's not based on how well the videos do or any luck with the YouTube algorithm. That's a little tip I have for anybody who's overthinking something, is just get started, find something that'll make you do it, not actually make you worry about it or that is going to motivate you just on money or something like that. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself by bringing in tips already. Let's speak about my history. For a lot of time after school, for a year or so, I can try to compete in competitive Call of Duty. That's the type of route I've gone through. I was very academically successful. I could have just gone through school, gone to a good university, and kept that up. But I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't for me. I didn't feel it emotionally that I was going to be able to really set my sights on that if I didn't try and compete in Call of Duty. I was passionate about that, so I pushed towards that. That failed. I was terrible. I'm going to be honest. I never made $1 off of COD. Zero. Actually, I lost a lot of money because I had to buy consoles and headsets and controllers and all of these types of things. So that was definitely my worst investment, probably. And probably my worst decision on paper, but something that I don't regret at all. This is something where I like to keep the perspective of those were lessons I learned. I learned a ton throughout that process. I'm going to have a video on that because I do think I learned a ridiculous amount through that process. Other history I've had, I was involved, I did a lot of investing in the crypto bubble, the Bitcoin bubble at the end of 2017, the start of 2018. That was my introduction to investing. That was a bumpy ride, a volatile ride, if I could call it anything. Again, I'll have another video on that, giving information about bubbles and things that I experienced, and that taught me a lot about emotional control when investing and making any sort of financial decision. It's really easy to let your emotions just pull any sort of decisions away from you and completely rip any sort of rationality out. I had a rational plan, a strategy destroyed. So we'll speak about that in the future as well. I now invest in stocks. I invest in index funds. I invest in the most boring investments possible. Because the most boring investments possible need as little attention as possible. They need as little regular effort as possible. I am more interested right now in focusing in my career and focusing on earning more money. So I just wanted to make sure when I was learning about investing that I had the most consistent path that I can trust, instead of having my money sitting in cash and losing money every year through inflation. I wanted to make sure, especially with how bad banking interest rates are at the minute, I wanted to make sure I had a place that I could put my money that is safe, that is secure, that in 40 years, 30 years, even 10 years, that I know I can trust that is going to grow as much as possible. So 6% a year in an index fund, index fund, with compounding, as we'll speak about. Compounding is a beautiful thing. If you've never heard the word compounding, Google compound interest. It'll change your life. That is enough that I could stop this video right now, stop this channel, and that is enough alone that I would be comfortable that this channel has hopefully impacted whoever's listened to it. Einstein called it the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest, and there's a good reason for that. If Einstein's calling it the eighth wonder of the world, that's a glowing review if there ever is one. I just wanted to interrupt. I'm editing this right now, and I just realized that I never actually spoke about what compounding is. It's good to Google it and get more of a detailed understanding of it, but if you want to just get a quick explanation of it, this graph on the screen right now shows basically what compounding is. Compounding is the effect of the interest that you earning you more money over time. So if you're earning money in 1 year, putting that money back into those investments makes you earn more in the next year. After 10 years, 20, 30 years, that adds up and really creates an exponential effect, as you can see. On this graph, you can see the growth from compounding on the green. In the blue, you can see the growth if you didn't have compounding involved, and at the bottom you can see just the flat value of the money without the growth. Okay, hopefully that explains it better. I'll hand you back over to myself. My biggest ideology around money is that money is very important. Money is very influential. Money can make or ruin your life. If you understand investing, or if you're stuck in debt, money can control your life like nothing else. Money is what we can use to fix problems. Money is to me, it's the easiest way. If you can spend your time focusing on how to earn money, and then you can use that money for something good, that I think is the best way you can use your career. At least for me, that is my goal. I think it's much easier to spend your time learning how to make a lot of money and then take that money and put it towards charities or something than it is to just volunteer. That's what I think, at least. This is an ideology that could not be shared by everybody, because then you would never have people to do the volunteering. So this is not what I'm trying to spread to people. But I'm just saying that my ideology is that money is very important, and that money is wasted a lot of the time, especially by people when they're spending and they're deciding their savings or their spendings, or what they're spending the money on. I'm not saying that it's time to be tight and that everybody has to be tight with their money. There's a golden middle ground where instead of spending it on a Starbucks coffee, you can be spending it towards a mortgage payment or something important, towards investments, towards your future, towards your retirement. Taking money, and instead of squandering it and wasting it, and putting it towards an important and an influential thing that matters to you more, or that you'll enjoy more. If it's going to be, instead of a Starbucks that you don't really like that much, if you have a McDonald's which you love, that is enough. That is enough to get the value out of that money, to be using it better. That is my main goal, is to make sure that people are using their money more effectively and more efficiently, and they aren't wasting their money. That is what's important to me with this channel. Finding ways that we can use a small amount of effort to get a big amount of gain, that we can use a small amount of money to get a big amount of enjoyment, so that we can stop spending lots of money to get small amounts of enjoyment. Something like buying a Netflix subscription instead of going to the movies. Going to the movies might cost 4 times more than a Netflix subscription. You could use that Netflix subscription 20, 30 times. You could be watching 2 hours of stuff every day. You could be watching a movie every day. That's a lot more enjoyment than you're getting out of the cinema. These are the types of things that I'm talking about. Rather than just cutting money back or anything like that, I'm not going to run this channel and tell you not to spend your money or how to spend your money, but I'm just going to try and bring ideas for how to take that money and how to take your time and how to take your effort and put it towards more useful things so that we're not wasting it. That's my ideology. That's a big part of the core of why I've started this channel or why I want to speak to anybody about money. Now, my goal with this channel, as I've spoken about, is to speak for 10 minutes. I have to actually have something valuable to say for 10 minutes, so I've written something up for every video, written a little short essay, and hopefully I do have something that you find valuable. Pretty much that's all I can say at this time, is if you have been curious enough to click on this video, if you think I have the possibility of providing value to you, please hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be trying to put consistent content out. It'll be me sitting here with a couple of lights in my bedroom talking about money and talking about my opinions about it. You'll either agree with it, you'll either find value in it, you'll either get information from it, or you'll think I'm an idiot and I'm just some 19-year-old who thinks he knows everything. But if you're curious which is going to happen, please hit that subscribe button. Give me the chance. Let's see what I can do, what I can say, and whether it's useful or not. We'll find out by the end of the year whether I'm going to do next year or not. But for now, that's an introduction. That's me, who I am, where I'm from, what this channel is. I've been John Williamson. Thank you very much for being curious enough to click on this video. Thank you very much for watching it. And I'll see you in the next one.